What's up guys, it's Roger and welcome back to the channel, and today we are playing some more Soulstone Survivors, trying out the new weapon on the assassin here. I'll show that to you. Usually you got sinister strikes with your worn daggers here, but now we have curved daggers with twin daggers as our new ability. You can check out the runes here real quick if you'd like to before we go in. We will be trying out the new special weapon as well, so we'll see what that's all about. Got some nice stuff there for crits, a little bit of multicasting. We are going to go on to the Whispering Grove and continue our tirade here of finishing off all of Curse level 6 for these maps, which the past 2 episodes we've done for the past 2 maps. We'll see how good we can get this done here. I'm gonna go ahead and get down to the corner here and take this out a little bit on these guys. Let's see, our special weapon is called Backstab. Stab enemies in front of you, causing 405 damage. Damage is multiplied by 5, and you also apply hemorrhage if you are behind the target. Interesting. Okay. So, the assassin is a character that I really didn't like when I first tried him out. He really benefits from getting behind targets and stabbing them in the booty cheeks. And while I think that's really cool, and I'd love to put 2 knives straight between each one of their cheeks, it's just not exactly the easiest thing in the world to do in this game because, I mean, the enemies turn so quickly. Like I did a little bit there, but for the most part, it's kind of difficult sometimes to actually get those backstabs off. I had a thought, and that thought was maybe I can get some Chaos Golems, and if I can get a Chaos Golem ability, then I could just use them as distraction, and then I could swing in behind enemies, you know, while they're distracted by the Chaos Golems, and get those backstabs off much more reliably. So that's something I might try to look for, because this guy can get Chaos abilities, so if we can get those... Ooh, speaking of, Chromatic Bolt is always a really good ability. I don't have Synergetic on, but it's still just really good. I'm going to go ahead and grab it for right now. It'll give us a little bit of range, too, so we can actually play our range a little better. But yeah, Chaos Golems are something that I'm looking for here, so if we can get those to drop for us, I'd be very interested. Now, immediate totem right here. I'm going to go ahead and start smacking this thing. Oh, something hit me there. Yeah, where's the back of a Chaos Totem? Can you get a check on that? Don't think that's a thing that exists. Which is kind of interesting for a character that has so much benefit from backstabbing, and you just literally can't on those totems there. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of armor. I'm okay with that. Oh, multicast everything with physical, which is all of our things so far. Love it, love it, love it. Get a bunch of these backstabs out. We can cause a lot of hemorrhage. Gotta be careful with that guy. Of course, he is the insta kill boy, so he'll hit our cheeks real hard if we let him, which is why we're just gonna try to not let him do that. Poison Cloud is something I actually really like, so I'll get it for now. Doesn't mean I won't trade it out later, but for now I definitely will go ahead and grab that, get some XP going here. Poison Bomb is good too. I could just stack a bunch of poison perhaps. Again, I'll get it for now, but I'm completely looking at using my rerolls and whatnot here, and as the run goes on, actually get some different stuff, because that's not exactly what I want. Didn't mean to break that health crystal for the most part. It just kind of was in the way, so it got broken, but it's still okay. Honestly, the damage from these daggers, even when we're not backstabbing, seems to be pretty darn good. Rupture. Hit enemies in a long line in front of you, dealing 675 damage and applying disoriented and stun. Can stun most elite enemies. Okay, I actually like the sound of that. And that's our last ability for now. Obviously, big crits are very good on this guy. We actually do have an extra dash straight off the bat here, if you've seen. Whoop. Hello there. Oh. See, I gotta hit that guy in the back pretty good there. Taking some silly damage, and we don't have good healing because, you know, high curse level. I'm trying to just get this XP really quick, and then we'll go and cook it over to this Chaos Totem. Okay, I'm interested in maybe like a buff, like Bloodlust, because I really do like Bloodlust. But would might be better than Bloodlust. I'm going to take Bloodlust for now. I'm going to trade it out for... I'm going to go Poison Cloud over Bomb. I like Cloud more because it kind of roams around by itself and hits enemies pretty well. I will take some health, actually. And there's Chaos Golem, so this is what I wanted. And I'm going to take this over the Poison Cloud, I think. What is Rupture again? Yeah. Because that's a long line. So let's take that. And let's see how useful it is. And oh, hello there. They're already here. Nice. And hopefully they can get some distraction on them. Oh, yeah. Okay. They're definitely taking some heat off me, which is nice. And not only that, but look like this. Bada bing, bada boom. We can walk right up behind them when the Chaos Golems are doing their thing and just absolutely wail on their cheeks. That's what I was wanting to do, and it looks like it's a pretty good strategy. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, cool. So hopefully even when the bosses spawn, the Chaos Golems can, there we go. Take some heat for us here. Yeah, I'll take some area modifier. I always love to see it. Critical, and then, oh yeah, damage to the Chaos Golems. Chaos Golems aren't, like, made to do all the damage in the world, but it doesn't mean they can't do damage. Speaking of damage, we're doing quite a bit to these bosses right now. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy pal. Hey, big old pal, buddy. I need you to face the other way. Oh, get smoked. You look kind of stupid right now, I'm not gonna lie. Did we just kill them all? Holy heck. I wasn't even ready to fight the next ones yet. I was just going up to kill them, and then they just died. Was it because my Chaos Golems just kind of, like, whipped them in the next week? Because that's pretty dope. Good. Big crits here. A little bit of movement speed never hurt no one. Alright. Let's go ahead and get these boss crystals up here. No reason to leave them on the ground. Okay. And then we'll just stab these guys all up in the backs and stuff. Trying to be a little careful here. Get this guy out of the way. Boop. Alrighty. Well, that's pretty good. I like our strategy here. So we can keep doing that, and I kind of just think I need to burn the bosses as quickly as possible when they spawn. Sometimes it gets a little difficult in the late game, and I don't get to kill them as much as I would, or as quickly as I would like to, and then bosses might start stacking up. But if I can just get those Chaos Golems on them and really just stick on them, then I think we could be sitting pretty. What the heck hit me there? What? I swear in this game, sometimes things just hit you to a silly degree. Wow, we are killing those totems really fast. Well, that's good to know. I think Rupture seems like a pretty good ability, like it goes pretty far. Alright, you guys got sauced on. You guys want to get sauced on next? I think you do. Exploders are kind of annoying right now. We actually have less knockback resistance with this new weapon on the assassin here than some other characters might. Getting our cast frequency up is really good. That's why I love Bloodlust, because if you can get 100% uptime on Bloodlust, then you just have cast frequency out the wazoo, and that means you're just shooting out abilities like crazy, and that's what we need to do as much as we can on this type of run, because we just need to get behind them and let loose to an insane degree. You know, we want to burst those bosses down as quickly as they can. The multiplier on our damage should be pretty freaking insane once we are actually getting those backstabs, so I'm excited to really see to what degree we can get that going. Well, hopefully you guys are having a good day. I'm having a pretty chill day myself. Ooh, hello there. Yeah, I know. Sploder. Alright. Any chance I can backstab you? Oh yeah, some of these are counting as backstabs, that's for sure. That's a insta-kill boy is sitting there. Oh, look at that damage on the Plague Bear. He's about to die. Go ahead and take him out really quick. Be careful of these attacks here. Insta-kill guy is standing on top of them, so you gotta be a little careful of just standing there, unfortunately. Hi. Alright, cool. There goes 2 bosses. Let's go ahead and pick up one of these boss crystals if we can. There we go. Get to 5 saved levels. And then we'll keep spending here. And I think I don't really need to buff. Well, I'll take that one because it's a rare version of it. But I don't really need to buff the damage modifier of my Chaos Golems. Like I said, they're not here to do damage. You know, they're here to tank for me. Look at that. They let me backstab her, and I just turned her into goo. That's beautiful. Let's go ahead and get over to this totem if we can. Take this out, and then we'll spin levels really quick. Only have 2 saved up, but I'm okay with that. I just want to get them out. Surprise Gift is a good ability, but not one we're really going to go for right now. And we'll just keep stacking health, because I could get insta-shotted. One-shotted by, like, a lot of different things right now. That paladin isn't dead. He's just stunned, taking a little nap in the dirt there. And we'll make him take a nap 6 feet under instead. But it's been kind of a chill day. This is honestly like the only series I've been recording as of late, which is not good. I should play some more Destiny, but can't be bothered half the time. Because that game is not enjoyable most of the time. And this game is actually enjoyable, so, you know, that kind of makes a world of difference. You tell me I have to record some of this, I'm like, you know what? Sounds like a fun time. Especially with this new update. I will say this new update's been really good. I mean, so much of the stuff I just really do enjoy. And I think they just, you know, you can tell they really care. Because they put some good work into this. I think I only have one new weapon left to check out, which is the Legionnaire. He is actually at Prestige level 9 for me, so I do need to get into Prestige level 10 first. So I think what I'm going to do is just like a half-second run off camera and just get him to Prestige level 10. And then, you know, go ahead and try out his new weapon then on camera. But, like, I'm not going to waste an entire video, I should say, with his old weapon, which we've already checked out. Not that I couldn't make a cool new video, and I'm sure I'll go back to his old weapon in the future and make some cool builds or something. But when the entire point of new content is to kind of, you know, try it out, then that's what I would rather do. So, we'll see about that. Okay, there's the king over there. Oop. That's a shield bash. Trying to get up behind him here. There we go, he's gonna die in half a second. Oops. Mind if I have that? Thank you. There is a totem over here. We'll go ahead and get to that in 1 second. Let's just do our levels really quickly, and then we'll cook it over there. This guy has some pretty good dashes. As in, his dashes really feel like they carry him compared to some other characters where, ooh, I feel like I dash and it just kind of just doesn't really go anywhere. It feels like I'm walking through a pot of honey, you know? That's never that fun. Get these little rubies here. I hope they add some different ways to actually use the crafting materials in the future, and I think that is something that they said they wanted to do, which is nice because, I mean, they even acknowledge that. They're like, you know, a lot of you might be playing early access right now, and you just have, like, materials at the wazoo, you know. I have a good amount of boss crystals and all these other materials, but there's people that have, you know, thousands more than me, so it's like, you can really have some crazy amounts if you're playing a lot of the game. And then, you know, new content comes out like this, and I easily was able to just craft everything in half a second because I already had all the materials I needed, and then some. So it's like, you know, if they could add more stuff besides just, like, weapons to use that stuff on, and then you have your skill tree, but your skill tree doesn't take that long to finish. And then once you finish it, it's like, okay, now you're done, you know? So I think that's something they're really going to look into, is how they can make it more useful to actually, well, use these materials, because right now it's just kind of not too much use for them. I'm trying to get behind these dudes, obviously. Cool. One sploder ruins it all. I know he's doing flamethrower attack. I'm just trying to sneak up behind him here. I don't really even need to hit them in the back for that long. I mean, the damage increase when I do hit them in the back is so insane. And look at the damage I just did to him there. It's mostly just trying about trying to get in there. That's not as easy as you might think. There we go. We were able to take one down there. Did some good dashes. Got behind him. Let's go ahead and level really quick. The more I can get this area modifier, it sounds better to me, because then I can actually hit from farther away, which means I don't have to get as close to do the backstabs. Now, of course... Oh, there we go. Got her to turn around. That should be the end of her. Yeah, as soon as we can get him distracted, now we're behind him, he should die in the next few seconds. There we go. See, that's why I want the area modifier up like crazy. Perfect. Yeah, this is a very strong run. My god. I really did not like the assassin the first time I played with him. But honestly, this new weapon seems pretty dope. The weakness effect that you apply is very much helping, and I like the special weapon too with the hemorrhaging and everything. It's just a beautiful combination where everything is just going crazy, especially with some good crit. And the chaos golems, that was a good idea. I'm sure other people have already like known that, but again, I don't watch other people. I just like to have ideas for myself and then try them out. And so I was like, oh, what if I just get chaos golems? So it was my idea. I thought of it. Nobody else. And if they tell you it was them, then they're a freaking liar. bro, don't tell him. Don't tell him I said that. Tell him somebody else said that. Okay. But yeah, I do like this build a lot. I mean, it's just so good. They get a little distraction on him. I walk in, bada bing, bada boom. Nice snake butt, and then I take him out. Look at him. He's just gonna die. I like to see it. Always take a little bit of movement speed. Ooh, area modifier. Magical is only these two. I think I'd rather just have more golems. I can have an entire other golem? Like, that sounds really good. That means, you know, however many more enemies that they can distract. That means that's much more of a chance that I can get a boss or an elite turned around and letting me backstab them. So, yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. I gotta say, ooh, I hope it does not get cold as much as it did for the rest of winter. You know, I was talking about this recently, but it was like in the 30s here for a few days. Ooh, your boy was not doing good. And I know if you're living in somewhere really cold, you're like, wow, 30. It's negative 52. I don't fucking care. I don't freaking care, okay? It's cold here, to me. You grow up somewhere warm, and then it gets to a temperature like that, and you're gonna be freezing your cheek holes off, so. It's all perspective. Stinky boy. I don't actually know. I mean, I actually don't think I have to be that close to backstab right now. I think my attack's at pretty good range. Oh, I love when you do that, lady, because that means I just get to sit here and cook your ass. And I'm not the best chef, but if there's one dish I can do pretty well, it's ass. Alright. Is he gonna hit in the back? Yes, he is. He's probably getting crushed right now, isn't he? Fallen King. Oh my, whoa, I can spawn that many of these guys? I don't want him to Beyblade again, so I'm trying to kill him before he does. Not gonna happen, but he... Oh, fuck. What the fuck? Call me when your bullshit is fixed. Oh wait, you'd never call back if that was the case. What the hell was that? Oh man. I was talking to my cousin because he picked up the game, and he was like, yeah, I got Beybladed into a wall and just... My dashes couldn't go through the guy, so I just got bullshitted and killed in my run, and I was like, yep. That's a classic. That is like the weakest, the biggest weakness of the design in this game is the dashes and how they interact with enemies. Just really needs to be fixed. If they could address that and fix it to, you know, any kind of meaningful degree, man, it would do wonders for this game. I really hope it's something that they address in the future. We'll try a cycle of this maybe. Just give a little longer the video. Give a little try to this build a little longer and see how much stronger we can get it, because it's just starting to pop, I think. So I want to see if we can get a good deal stronger here and test it out through this cycle. No promises I go any deeper than this, though. But yeah, the dashes are very, very frustrating sometimes. But, yeah, I don't know. I think they need a little more pushback on enemies, you know? Like, you should actually be able to walk up to an enemy, and if they're literally touching you, you need to be able to dash, and the dash goes through them, because right now, that dash isn't going to go through them. So if they're touching you, and you're stuck against a wall or something, or another enemy, you're just going to sit there and get battered and battered and battered, and you're not going to get out. And it just gets to the point where you literally can't escape most of the time. And then it becomes, well, what do you want me to do? I can't go anywhere, you know? And then you just kind of die. Instantly, you'll just, okay, there goes a life. Okay, there goes your other spawn. Okay, now you're dead. And that's what my cousin was saying. He was like, yeah, I lost both my revives, and then, you know, I'm dead. And it's like, yeah, that's how it goes. You just don't have a chance to fight back. And nothing feels worse in a game than when you die, but the game didn't give you a chance to play it, you know? Nobody likes mechanics in a game when it's just like, okay, this mechanic happened, therefore you are not able to play the game, and also you're dead. And it's like, wow, cool. Can I actually have the chance to fight back next time? It's kind of a load of shit, you know? But you just don't get that chance with something like that. There's a skill in Destiny, the main game I played. It's called Stasis, which is just like the ice class. And as soon as it was coming out and stuff, I was like, oh, this is inherently broken and should never exist in a game like this. Because that game is so inherently based on movement. You know, it's a very, very movement-based FPS. And when you put something in the game like Stasis, which is, like I said, ice class, so it's based around freezing and slowing your enemies, it's just inherently broken. You're so focused and needing to have very high skill of movement and using that movement to actually get around your enemies and outplay them. And now you come to the point where you're not even allowed to move. Like right there, my dash got caught on those guys, and I try to go behind them. Boop, no shot. Am I missing attacks here? Or is the enemy missing? First of all, they are getting cooked. Let's just clarify that. These guys look like a fucking Thanksgiving turkey right now. They just got cooked. Holy shit. Absolute losers. But yeah, and there's people who like to crush that stuff, and you're always going to get the biggest proponents of people not saying something is broken is going to be the ones who abuse it, right? If you're going to sit here and break the Geneva Conventions, you're going to say, well, I don't know, I think mustard gas should be used in churches in war. And it's like, that's probably because you're the one getting some kind of use out of that mustard gas in the church, my boy. But the Geneva Conventions are there for a reason. Just like freezing your enemy in a very high movement-based FPS shouldn't be there, you know. There's these things that are here for a reason. These limiters that as soon as you remove them or you add something, then it just turns everything to a point where it should never be. And that's the thing I don't get from like a game designer standpoint, where how do you not look at that preemptively and be like, oh, this is going to break the game. It's going to ruin it to a degree that you can't go back on. Because the thing with something like that, you know, okay, you spent all that time, you spent all those resources. Now people are putting money in to the game to have those things you put in. You can't just take it away. You can't just be like, ooh, we made a mistake. Boop, it's out of the game. And here's a refund, especially now with a AAA fucking company. They're not going to do that. Are you kidding me? They're never going to say that they made a mistake. And even if they did say they made a mistake, they wouldn't revert it. It would just be, well, we made a mistake, but it's over now, so deal with it. Because people paid money to use this thing, so now we kind of just have to leave it in the game, and that's literally what it is. And it's just like, okay. But they don't even acknowledge how busted it is most of the time. What they do is they add a bunch of different busted stuff, and then people forget how busted the first thing is because a bunch of new busted stuff comes out. So then you're just like, ah, man, I mean, it's not even that strong because look how strong this is. And it's like, just because this current ability is really strong doesn't mean that the old ability is any less strong. They never nerfed the old ability. You're just not using it anymore because you have new shiny thing in front of you. New shiny thing can only distract you for so long before you get bored of it, and then you go, man, I want to go use old shiny thing again. It's still shiny, trust me. You know, your little crow brain goes, ooh, shiny still. You go back to it, you take a peek, you open up that jewelry box, and you're like, damn, mama's gold ring right here. And you want to go pawn it off, baby, because you are a greedy little boy, and you just want to win, win, win. And that, my boys, is how broken things in games get abused. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. But, I don't know, people just don't like to acknowledge that. Like, well, here's the next excuse. If everyone else is abusing it, then I should too, right? Or else I'm going to fall behind. And it's like, wow. You know, that's the classic parent saying of, well, if everyone else is jumping off a bridge, would you do it too? You know, it's literally the example I can think of. 'Cause it's like, just because everyone's a scumbag doesn't mean you being a scumbag is somehow justified to any degree. Like, what? Hello? It just means that you're a scumbag too now. Doesn't make you being a scumbag better. You should want to be better by not being the scumbag, by not abusing that thing. But people just don't really give a shit. But then they go, well, it's just a video game, and it's like, yeah. But when I see someone who's like so willing and open and ready and wanting to abuse something like that in a video game, they're probably a piece of shit in real life too. If you're open to wanting to do that in one avenue of your life, you're probably open to being a scumbag in other avenues of your life. That's part of your character, you know. You can show your character in a small way, and it will probably carry over into more meaningful aspects of your life, you know. It's who you are as a person, I think, to some degree. And you show that off when you do stuff like that. I don't know. I think that's debatable. There's times when I can give you a great example of, I'll go to trivia with my family every week. Sometimes there was we'll say family friend that would join, and she would always like steal the pen. You know, they provide pens to write with at trivia, and she would always steal the pen at the end of trivia. And I'd be like, "Why are you stealing that?" She's like, "Oh, it's just one pen." I'm like, "Yeah, how far do you justify that though? How far do you go where you're like, well, it's just this little thing," before it gets to the point where it's like, no, suddenly the stealing is not right now. Is there a money amount? You know, is it like, okay, well, it's only worth 3 cents, so the stealing is justified? Or is it, well, you know, stealing is never okay, which is what I would say. But then, of course, you know, you could get into the whole, if your family's starving, you wouldn't steal food for them. It's like, I think that's a whole different cup of potatoes there, but this woman is not starving. She's just shitty. To be able to justify their actions, I'm like, you are going to make other people's lives more difficult in some way by taking that pen, possibly. If you could have any possible repercussions of making the trivia host's life more difficult and annoying by taking that, by stealing that, let's just use the real word here, then why do it? You don't have a pen? If you're saying the pen is so inconsequential that you can just go ahead and take one, then isn't it so inconsequential that you go ahead and buy one for yourself? You know, it just feels like, well, I know what it is. People like easy ways out. And especially older people who, as they've been through more of life and they think, oh, life has wronged me over and over, so I can wrong some other people a little bit by stealing a pen. It's like, eh. That's your justification for being an asshole most of the time is what it is. And it's like, I don't know. If you want to be an asshole, just own up to it. It's always my belief in it, because that goes back to the abusing things, crutching things like that in video games. When people will come to me, and I'm very outspoken about hating the abusing of weapons and stuff like that, and they're like asking me, well, is this okay if I use it like this, or if I use it with this and I kind of balance it out because I'm using this, you know, piece of armor and it's not as good, then it balances out me using the really busted weapon. And I'm like, look, I don't care what you use. You go ahead. If you're having fun, then I'm happy for you. All I want to hear you say, if you're using that busted weapon or whatever, is just an acknowledgement that you know it's busted, you know? Don't sit there and then be like, oh, I'm tearing it up today, boy. I am just wrecking everyone I come in contact with. I'm beating everyone in all my matches. I am so good. I just want you to be like, yeah, I'm doing really good today, and I'm gonna just be straight up with you. It's because of this weapon. Like 70% of how well I'm doing today is because of this broken thing that I'm abusing. If you can do that, I respect you. It's like, all right, I mean, you know. Especially if you like don't feel too good about it, but maybe you know you're not a very good player, so then you're kind of doing it so you can finish something. Like, you know, there is different loot and rewards you can get for beating certain things, and people abuse those weapons because they know that without them, they can't win. And to them, they have to have that loot. They just have to have it, because they don't have it, then it's FOMO, you know? It's fear of missing out, and they can't miss out. So they don't. Ooh, this guy's gonna get crushed. Let's see how fast we can kill him. Yeah, keep your booty cheeks right in my face. That's how I like it. Huh, I kind of thought he would die faster, honestly. Oh, there it goes. So yeah, it's just like an acknowledgement is fine. But then it's like, man, I'm gonna be honest, you really don't need that one random piece of loot as much as you think you do. Like, how inconsequential is that? You want some fucking digital gun? Hey, it's stuck in architecture. The first time this run. Man, oh man, that took a while. Usually it's like pretty immediate. Look at that damage stacking up on him. Boop. I don't know. At this point, I'm kind of like, no, there's not iframes on dashes. But then at other times, I'm like, there has to be iframes on dashes, right? But after that dash, I'm just sitting here like, no shot. I just did 3 dashes in a row, and somehow that shield bash caught me. Huh. I was in, quote-unquote, what should be iframes the entire time if I was going through all 3 dashes. So that's when my question becomes, like, how long are the iframes with the dashes? Is maybe half a dash iframes and the other half of the dash is more so just the movement is still carrying and you have to chain it into another dash as fast as possible to really have a chance at catching more iframes? Is the iframes kind of inconsistent for some reason? You know, those are the kind of things I would really like to know so I can play around them better and not even put myself in the positions where I would need to use the dashes like that. But I don't know. I don't really think I'll probably ever get too many answers on those, so it's hard to tell, you know? It's just hard to tell. Yeah, I don't know. I think people like to make excuses for their shittiness a lot in life, and then instead of just owning up to it, it's like, man, just it's okay to say you suck sometimes. I think we all do shady things sometimes where you're like, man, I know this kind of sucks, but I'm still doing it. I can't really think of something off the top of my head that I really do is like that, because I try not to, but I'm sure there's something. I think everybody gets to a point sometimes where there's being greedy or whatnot, thinking more about themselves than other people. I think the entire point, though, is to try to balance that out as much as possible to where you're not doing that and are actually looking out for other people. It's kind of like service industry workers, you know. I was out to lunch with my family the other day, and the server is taking like a few minutes longer than expected, and the restaurant is packed. I'm sitting there like, whatever. I got nowhere to be. I got no plans. It's fine, and it's busy, and it's the day after Christmas, mind you. So like, take your time, bro. Really don't care. And I know your job sucks is the last thing, and you're underpaid, and you guys are understaffed. So like, you know, a bucket full of reasons. But then you have my mom there. You know, it's just like, man, I'm gonna leave it in such a bad review. And then my dad started chiming in. I'm just like, do you know how shitty people's jobs are? Like, my God. Have some fucking common decency, some awareness for other people, and respect that shit that they have to deal with. It's not just as simple as, you're not the only one sitting in the restaurant. Like, hello? Look around you. There are other people waiting, and they want the same amount of service and attention as you. You know, they're like complaining because he was talking to people at a different table. Like, he was over there talking instead of paying attention to us and getting us our food. It's like, yeah, gee, it's almost like half the paycheck he gets. You know, let's be honest, 80% of the paycheck he gets is going to be off the fucking tips. You know, the amount of money he gets is going to be off the tips. Maybe he wants to actually be nice to his customers so he gets a good tip. Crazy thought. Wow, that is more prestige than I've seen in my entire life. That is beautiful. All right, what do we get here? Shadow Step, create a dark portal in front of you and a few meters away from you, allowing you to teleport from one portal to another at any time, dealing 300 damage and applying hemorrhage to enemies near the portal you come out of. That sounds really cool. We'll have to give that a try. What else did we get? Okay, bomb affinity. Pretty dope. This is going to be all the prestige stuff for doing assassin, which is great. Smoke bomb. Throws the bomb at a random enemy, applying distracted. Reduce the target's chance to hit by 10%. Interesting, that's a new one. Slow and enveloping the area in smoke for 6 seconds, causing all your attacks on enemies inside the area to be considered. Oh, shoot. So if you get smoke bomb, you don't even need the chaos golems. Interesting. I gotta try that. Okay, cool. And what did so good for us there? 204 million. Wow, the chaos golems actually did crazy damage. And then, yeah, all of our backstab type stuff, and chromatic bolt is just always a solid option. That's great. That was a great run. I can't even lie to you. That might have been one of the strongest runs I've ever had, just because the chaos golems mixed with the backstabbing. We'll have to try some stuff out there. We have all the unique skills unlocked now, so that was a really good progression right there. Not to mention tier 6 of Curse done on the Whispering Grove. Man, good stuff. And if you guys enjoyed, you'll leave me a like, comment, subscribe, or hit that notification bell so you can see more in the future. This is a daily series after all, so if you do hit that notification bell, this will be delivered straight to your inbox every single day, so you can go ahead and click and get a little bit of Roger in your life. But all that being said, I really appreciate your view. Thank you so much, and as always, have a great day.